Hi everyone, I am so excited to be able to invite you to the 2023 Orchid Show and Sale sponsored by the Gulf Coast Orchid Alliance in Naples, Florida. The show will be held March 24th, 25th, and 26th at North Collier Regional Park in Naples, Florida. I've got about 6.5 minutes of video from last year's show so you can get an idea of the type of orchids that you can see that are in the show. Back to the details of the show is that, again, it is March 24th, 25th, and 26th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday hours are 11 to 5. Saturday hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday hours are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The theme of the show is a recipe with orchids. So as you go through and look at the displays, you should be able to see cooking her recipe themes associated with that. So these are some images, these are some videos from last year's show showing this is the cattleya group, and you'll see all different types of orchids at the show. So we go from cattleyas, the large ones first and then the small ones first. There are all different types of orchids. There are dendrobiums, there are vandas, there are phalaenopsis. There's all different types that are there. You can also go through and talk with the folks there from the Gulf Coast Orchid Alliance and ask any orchid questions that you may have. In addition to the show where individuals bring in their orchids for display, there's also vendors that will be at the show and sale. The vendors are selling orchids, they're selling orchid media, and you can talk with the vendors and anyone about the best way to grow all these different types of beautiful orchids. In the video here, we're now taking a look at the phalaenopsis, a really easy orchid to grow, and you'll find lots of different phals at the orchid show and sale. The entrance to get into the orchid show and sale, it's an $8 entry donation, and there is free parking. But you do want to come early if you want to purchase an orchid, because as far as the vendors go, a lot of times the best orchids are going to be bought pretty early during the show. As we look at the video now, we are into the dendrobiums. Again, another beautiful group of orchids. And these orchids, as well as all of the orchids at the show, there's an incredible variety of different colors and shapes and sizes and even fragrances. So as you get to the show, you can take a look at all of these beautiful orchids, but you should know that you're not supposed to touch any of the orchids, but it's okay to smell. And the dendrobiums aren't really that fragrant for the most part. Some of them are, but the cattleyas, the first group that was in the video, they tend to be very fragrant. So as you go through there, you can smell, again, don't touch, and get an idea of the type of fragrances and flavors that orchids provide. As we get into this next group of orchids, these are oncidiums. And there's lots of different types of oncidiums, and some of the oncidium types can be very fragrant. So you'll get fragrances like even chocolate and a number of different things. As we move on a little bit more, these are the paphilopetalums, and these are really beautiful and unique orchids. A little tougher to grow than some of the other ones, but all orchids have their own specific conditions for how to grow them to be this beautiful. All these ribbons show the grand prize winner of the show, which was a Certipodium, which is just a huge, beautiful plant and also a native Florida orchid. And there's a few of these that will be at the meeting. I should also mention that these orchids all tend to bloom at the same time of the year every year. So what you're likely to see is some of these same beautiful orchids. These again are orchid videos that were taken in 2022 at last year's show. but you'll likely see some of these same orchids that happen to be blooming for the 2023 show. And I know from experience that some of them are blooming. I've seen that some of these same orchids at the very recent shows. So this is a show and sale, and with the show you can see, as we're looking through, there are ribbons that are associated with the various orchids, and these orchids are judged by trained judges through the American Orchid Society. So orchid judges have a strict multi-year training program that they have to go to as they pass through the various levels of judging, and these judges will go through in teams and grade and evaluate the different orchids as far as meeting the ideal presentation of the orchids within these groups. These are vandas, and these are just beautifully colored, and they can also be fragrant. There's incredible range of colors and patterns and sizes in these vandas shown here. And as we get to some of these, if you can take a look at them, you can see the ribbons that are associated with them. So in conclusion, please join me for the 2023 Gulf Coast Orchid Alliance Orchid Show and Sale to be held March 24th, 25th, and 26th at North Collier Regional Park in Naples, Florida.